Greetings to you, brothers and sisters. Welcome to today's episode of Faith Issues, brought to you by the Social Communication of the Catholic Diocese of Nsukka. Today, March 6, 2023. We reflect through the readings of today on the acknowledgement of our imperfection as a pathway to humility and amendment of life. We hear the confession of the prophet Daniel on behalf of the people of God in Daniel chapter 9 verse 5. We have sinned, we have done wrong, we have acted wickedly, we have betrayed your commandments and your ordinances and turned away from them. This is the acknowledgement, the confession of a soul that sincerely acknowledges its sinfulness, in contrast to pride of sin. In contrast to a proud heart that doesn't acknowledge its sins, in contrast to a penitent that goes to the confessional and after acknowledges his or her sinfulness, gives reasons and defends his or her actions. As a way of analogy, consider a child or a student who, whenever you correct him or her, will always put up a frowning face, showing his or her discomfort with the correction, or that he or she doesn't need your correction. Consider a child or a student who, whenever you correct him or her, will always defend his or her actions with reasons. In the penitential rites of the Mass, the priest calls on the people. Brothers and sisters, let us acknowledge our sins and so prepare ourselves to celebrate the sacred mysteries. We first acknowledge our unworthiness before we proceed with the Mass. Also, in the evening instruction of the second Sunday of Lent in Year A of the Manual of the Catholic Diocese of Nsukka, it reflects on prayer. And the last issue treated is the postures we take in prayer. Each posture signifies something. The posture of kneeling down in prayer, as much as it signifies adoration, also shows our unworthiness to stand before God, and thus shows our humility. We hear the response to the psalm today, Psalm 103 verse 10, which says, "Do not treat us according to our sins, O Lord. For if the Lord does so, none of us can lift up his or her voice in prayer of supplication or in prayer of praise." We listen to the words of the Lord today in the Gospel as he says in Luke chapter 6 verse 36 to 37, "Be compassionate as your Father is compassionate. Do not judge, and you will not be judged yourselves." Any soul that sincerely acknowledges its own imperfection will not judge others rashly, will not condemn others. It is an inevitable attitude of a soul that sincerely acknowledges its own sinfulness. For we hear the words of St. Paul in Romans chapter 3 verse 23, "For we all have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God." We go back to the confession of the prophet Daniel today in the first reading. In Daniel chapter 9 verse 7 it says, "Integrity, Lord, is yours, ours the look of shame." And in verse 8 it says, "To us, Lord, the look of shame belongs to our kings, our princes, our ancestors, because we have sinned against you." As we reflect on the shame our nation has become, let us each also meditate on how we have, in one way or the other, by our action or inaction, brought Nigeria to where it is today. Let our common anger for the shame we have become lead us to the common passion of amending this nation. Let our common anger for how we have put upon this nation the garment of shame lead us to the passion of divesting the Nigerian polity of bad leadership, and lead us to divesting the Nigerian society of the garment of corruption. Peace be with you.
Thank you for staying till the end. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring stories and teachings. If you have any questions you would like us to address or any suggestions you would want to make for our growth, send a mail to faithissues@gmail.com. It is issues with a Z. Until next time, stay blessed.